The time is almost here. Dreams will become reality starting Thursday for our several locals in the NFL draft. Stevenson Sylvester continues his draft preview. Tonight we feature BYU offensive tackle Blake Freeland. Now, he's quite a story out of Harriman High School. Homegrown, was a starting quarterback as a freshman, eventually moved to tight end and defensive end, did not play offensive line in high school. He was also a star basketball player for the Mustangs, All-State, played above the rim, dunking on everybody. He was also a six-time All-State in track, state champion, still holds the 6A record in shot put, Sly. And you can see when you look at his measurables at the combine why he's such an incredible athlete. He's special. Yeah, no question. All of those things you mentioned, basketball, tight end, quarterback, is exactly why he stood out amongst all the old linemen at the combine. 6'8", 302, 25 bench reps, which is really good, especially at his height. 40-yard dash, in the top 3 in the 40-yard dash. He was outstanding and set a new combine record of all time. Wow. For the vertical. He did a tremendous job at the combine and set himself up really good for next week. Let's look at his combine highlights. They're incredible. 40-yard dash, he was 3rd overall among offensive linemen. The vertical, you mentioned the record there. 37 inches on a broad jump. 10 feet on the broad jump. That's incredible. That was number 1 as well. Look at this. Yes. I mean, you see the basketball player. As an offensive lineman, how do all these things help you? It's in so many different ways on the field, and that's what you see with the film too. Yeah. It translates. His athleticism translates extremely well. He's extremely quick. He does a great job with leverage, because being at 6'8", it's very hard to get leverage. I know this for a fact because I played with James Harrison, and the way James Harrison got under guys is because low man wins, right? But I think he has a great job bending for a 6'8" guy. Okay, so GMs don't care if you can win a track meet. Yeah. They want you to go out there and perform on the field. How does his athleticism translate to the field? It's awesome, especially in today's game of football. And that's what everybody needs to understand. It's not the 90s. It's not the early 2000s. It's the 2020s right now. And what that is screen after screen, get out and go. You saw the Philadelphia Eagles this year. But Blake Freeland gets out on screens and I'm telling you, these small guys, DBs, they don't want to see a big 6'8", 300-pound guy moving the way Blake Freeland moves right at them. So they get out of the way and they get big yards. And that's what BYU took advantage of. So he can dunk on a guy's head, but that doesn't help you in the NFL. Can he get out and rush and help them in the run game and run block? No question. What I really loved about watching Blake Freeland's tapes is his hips. And this game against Arizona last year, of course, Tyler Algier, great running back. Right. But what he does is a great job of sealing. He gets his guy that was down inside, but look at him. He gets his hips turned to where Tyler Algier sees that hole and shoots right through it. So his hips turn, get in position to let that running back hit that cutback lane, and it's awesome. And he does it time and time again, which is why he's going to be a top draft pick this year. How does the athleticism help him in pass protection as well? Well, athleticism is great, but he's smart. He was a quarterback, right? He's smart. Here, I absolutely love this because this is something that you only do once or twice a game, right? You're going against a defensive lineman. You go against him, 50, 60 times a game. And so you can't do the same thing every single time. On this play, he jumps out and aggressively goes and gets the defender. So it's something the defender wasn't used to, but it's a risk because if he gets by you, it's the quarterback. But if you're changing things up, that's something that a lot of people don't do often. And it's a chess match every single time. So Blake Freeland has the intelligence of a left tackle, which everybody knows the left tackle, the blind side, is a very, very important position because you are protecting the $1 million quarterback. And that's what Blake Freeland does very well. So it's not just athleticism. He's got it up here. He's got football IQ. He's the whole package. But let's be honest, he's a freak among offensive linemen as far as his athleticism. Who does he remind you of? Is there another freak out there that you can think of? Yeah, subtle, quiet, a guy that we played multiple times a year, Joe Thomas from the Cleveland Browns. Hall of Fame guy, right? Wow. Joe Thomas was extremely great. He played against Lamar Woodley, James Harrison, some of the best pass rushers that I played with in the league. But our guys had such a hard time getting around though because of how smart he was. He was a big guy. He was about 6'6", and he made all the right things. Extremely strong. He was Pro Bowl year after year. And Blake Freeland, the way he run blocks, gets his hips around, gets out in the open space, reminds me a lot of Joe Thomas. So Joe Thomas, that's quite a comparable, obviously. So all of this said, I'm sure you're pretty high on him with his draft stock and status. Where do you think he's going to go? What round?
I love it. I love it. Blake Freeland did an amazing job. I think he really set himself up because the guys at the Combine were talking about him like crazy. Yeah. I think he goes late in the first round, early second round. I really do.
He could be a first-day guy.
I think he could, but he might slip down into the second round. But either way, day one, day two guy, I truly believe he's a day one, day two guy. Wow. His athleticism, his height, his stature is exactly what all NFL teams want. You want that guy, and then the intelligence. And then you talk about all the intangibles about his athleticism with other sports and how it translates on the field. He is the guy of the future that you want.
And it's not like he's a project. He was a third-team All-American. I mean, he is a special player. Proved at the college level. Now he's going to get a chance to prove it at the NFL level. Great breakdown, Sly. We'll be back later on in the show with more on the NFL Draft.